Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis, your movie trivia and discussion podcast. Please like the Facebook page and leave your comments or questions at facebook.com/screenfacts. You can also tweet me at Jason Davis Voice or email screenfacts@yahoo.com. Please rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes to automatically get new episodes every Wednesday. Well, we are winding down 2015, and we're going out with a bang because today...
Literally.
Yes. Today, my guest, Tim Donnelly, and I are going to take you through what we think is probably the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
No doubt about it. I don't care what anybody says. This is a holiday movie first and foremost.
We, of course, are talking about the 1988 classic,
Die Hard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm glad that you were able to make the time to come in today to record this.
Oh, looking forward to talking about this.
Very cool. Die Hard, starring, of course, Bruce Willis, Bonnie Bedelia, Reginald Vell Johnson, William Atherton, who's, by the way, really good at playing douchebags.
Yeah, he had a great string of douchey roles in the 80s.
Let's run them down really quick, shall we?
All right, so let's see what we got. I got, off the top of my head, you got Real Genius.
Yes, the professor in Real Genius.
The Professor in Real Genius. Die Hard, of course.
Yes. Ghostbusters. How can we forget Ghostbusters?
Yes,
Dickless.
It's true. This man has no dick.
Yes. So he's, really good in this movie as the news reporter. And Alan Rickman in his feature film debut.
And what a debut it is.
Oh, phenomenal. I think it's his best role.
I can't picture the movie without him.
No, he's awesome. Yeah, as Hans Gruber. So interesting, though, Sam Neill had turned down the role. Rickman was cast after producer Joel Silver and director John McTiernan saw him in a performance of the play Dangerous Liaisons.
Right.
So, of course, he's gone on to an enormous career.
Yeah. What a terrific and versatile actor.
Yeah, he's great. When you think about Bruce Willis, the first thing that doesn't come to mind before Die Hard,
right.
Action star, right?
Right. I remember when the movie came out and the poster looked cool and the previews looked cool, but I was a junior in high school and my friends were like, oh, come on, we got to go see this movie. And I said, but really? The guy from Moonlighting? Huh?
I know, exactly.
I didn't want to see this at first because I didn't want to see the guy from Moonlighting run around a building.
Yeah, I think he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think I was the only one.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, he was paid what was unheard of at that time, $5 million.
Wow.
To play John McClane.
This movie came out in 1988.
Yeah.
It was shot from 87 into 88.
Right.
And a $5 million paycheck for a guy who had a hit television show,
right,
but wasn't really a proven, Hollywood movie actor.
Yeah, exactly.
$5 million's pretty impressive.
Did he even do other movies before this?
I'm trying to think.
I mean, there was like Hudson Hawk, but that was after this.
Hudson Hawk was after this. When did he do that movie that kind of tanked with Kim Basinger called Blind Date? It was a Blake Edwards
That was
comedy.
87. That was before that. I actually liked that movie.
It's
a fun movie.
I didn't dislike it.
But that was probably more what you would expect from Bruce Willis.
Right,
like a comedy
right. Kind of that style of comedy.
Yeah. He comes through in a big way in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly cemented his reputation as a movie star with this.
Very much so.
The poster, the original release poster for the film, didn't actually have Bruce Willis on it.
That's right.
Just the building. I think for the reasons that we're talking about, the producers were just like, yeah, I don't know if Bruce Willis is really going to sell this movie.
They were afraid non-Bruce Willis fans wouldn't come see the movie.
Yeah.
Again, like the guy from Moonlighting?
Yeah,
nah, I don't think so.
And there were other actors considered for the role, too. Not surprisingly.
Who else was considered for the role?
It was turned down by Robert De Niro.
Wow.
And the interesting thing is that Bruce Willis had just been turned down to play the Charles Grodin role opposite De Niro in Midnight Run. Another great movie.
Another excellent action comedy.
Which I probably will want to do a podcast for somewhere down the road.
Might be a future podcast,
Yeah,
sure.
Good stuff. Coincidentally, both films open the same day, which is very crazy.
That's great.
Michael Madsen, Richard Gere, Don Johnson, and Richard Dean Anderson.
MacGyver.
Yeah, MacGyver. Were all considered to play McClane. Nick Nolte, Al Pacino, and Tom Berenger all turned down the role.
Wow. So it's amazing looking back. You can't picture anybody else but Bruce Willis in the role of John McClane. And it's pretty obvious he was way down on the list of people to play this role, man.
Yeah. And he still got $5 million.
Yeah.
So go figure. But
they probably had to offer $5 million because, like, look, nobody wants to do this. So here you go, $5 million.
Yeah. It's funny because Tom Berenger, man, for him to turn down this role, did this come before or after Major League?
This was before Major League. Major League, I think, was 1989.
So this would be between Platoon and Major League for Tom Berenger.
Two hits for Tom Berenger.
Yeah. So interesting. Who knows what his career would have been like had he done this movie?
Right.
But Nick Nolte back then, might have worked. I mean, we look at Nick Nolte now, and, he's kind of broken down, and all we can think of is the mugshot and the whole thing.
Sadly.
But Nick Nolte had 48 Hours.
Oh, yeah.
And the sequel.
A well-respected and very popular actor in the 1980s.
He's great.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for the role of the wife, Bruce Willis had actually recommended personally Bonnie Bedelia for the role. In fact, he rejected a lot of very amazing actresses so Bonnie Bedelia could get the role.
Who else was up for the role of Holly McClane?
Sally Field, Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Diane Keaton, and Glenn Close.
Wow.
Were each considered for the role.
A lot of heavy hitters there.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah. Women that were really in their prime as far as acting at that time. So,
Bonnie Bedelia is great in the role.
It's terrific.
Again, you really can't picture anybody else in the role at this point.
Yeah. As much of the holiday theme as this movie has, I was really surprised. I totally forgot that it was released in the summer.
Yeah. It was a summer blockbuster.
July 20th, 1988.
Yep.
I totally don't even remember that.
Neither do I.
I remember seeing it in the theater and being blown away by it.
Oh, of course.
It was amazing.
Great stuff.
Yeah, but summer, it's kind of odd to release a movie that has a Christmas theme in the summertime.
Yeah, a Christmas movie that's really a summer popcorn action thriller blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly released this kind of a movie around Christmas time. It's not, for example, the latest Star Wars movie.
Right.
So, who knows? Directed by John McTiernan, who also directed the third installment of the series, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, it came back for Die Hard with a Vengeance. Rennie Harlan directed Die Hard 2, and they brought McTiernan back to finish out the original trilogy. And then, of course, there were more sequels to follow.
Yeah, I think I saw the fourth one. After that, I think I either checked out or just missed it.
Yeah, you and me both. I kind of checked out after that.
The fourth one was okay. The first three are all very good, I think.
Yeah, I like the first three.
Nothing tops the original, though.
No, oh, God, of course not.
I think the third one is a close second to the first one.
Yeah, the second one to me is a little bit more of a stylistic departure from the first one. It's definitely got Rennie Harlan's fingerprints all over it, but the third one, like you said, kind of a return to the style and the feel of the first one.
And plus you add Samuel L. Jackson, and you can't go wrong there.
Bruce Willis was quoted in an interview at some point as saying, "All I can say about the third Die Hard movie is, thank God for Sam Jackson."
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, Zeus.
And John McTiernan, he also directed The Hunt for Red October and the Arnold Schwarzenegger films Predator and The Last Action Hero.
Yeah, he's no stranger to good action flicks.
Yeah. Last Action Hero, really quick aside for that, that's a movie that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, it got panned.
Yeah, it got panned, but
I think it's fun that Schwarzenegger makes fun of himself in the movie.
Yeah.
Good stuff. The screenplay written by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza from the novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe.
Right.
Clint Eastwood originally owned the rights to the novel. Lucky for us, his plan to star in the film in the early 1980s didn't work out.
Yeah, would have been a much, much different movie, I think, if Clint Eastwood was the star of it. Much like Beverly Hills Cop would have been much different if Stallone had starred in it instead of Eddie Murphy.
Yes. And, for all we know, it probably would have been, everything would have been different with both of those movies, not just because of the stars, but maybe the scripts were even different.
Yeah, it could be. John McTiernan, the director of Die Hard, said that he definitely wanted to make a lighter movie. When the script was presented to him, he didn't want to make another movie of terrorists and bad people doing consistently bad things. He wanted to instill an element, and the word he used was joy. He wanted to put some joy and some comedy and some humor in the film. So again, if Clint Eastwood is in this role, can you do that? I mean, Bruce Willis, he's got the smart ass, he's got the smirk, he's got the comedy chops.
That's really the main element that Bruce Willis brings to the role that makes it work so well.
Yeah.
Is that he has that kind of smart ass swagger about him.
Sure.
Which was what makes John McClane so likable.
Of course. And he's got an everyman quality to him. He's kind of like this all-American, he cries, he hurts, he bleeds, he has regrets. He really is just this human all-American guy that we can relate to. He's not this invincible kind of hero. The fact that he sits in the front seat with Argyle is supposed to reflect the fact that he's a regular guy.
Right.
He doesn't think he's any better than Argyle. When they have the little conversation in the airport there, he says, "All right, so what do we do? It's my first time driving a limo." And he goes, "That's okay. It's my first time riding in one." And so they both sit up front together to establish the fact that they're equals, and John McClane is a good, solid guy.
Yeah, and I love that when you see him, when he's washing up in the office, you see that he's got some miles on him, too. He's got the scar on his shoulder.
Yeah,
he looks like he's taking some gunshot or something.
Yep.
So you know that he's got some stories, before all this happens.
Sure.
Which is pretty cool. So filmed from November 1987 to March of 1988. Estimated budget of $28 million. Domestic gross $83 million. Worldwide, it made $140.7 million.
Nice.
If you were going to say, what's the greatest action movie of all time, certainly Die Hard is in the argument.
Die Hard is on my short list.
And it holds up amazingly.
Oh, God. All these years later, man. I still get a thrill watching this.
So much fun. I can't think of too many other action movies that just come to mind immediately when you say action.
Oh, yeah. And it's a testament to Die Hard that from that point forward, almost every other action movie that took place afterward was compared to Die Hard. It's like, oh, this is Die Hard on a plane. This is Die Hard on a boat. This is Die Hard on a... Yeah.
Nakatomi Tower is actually the headquarters of 20th Century Fox.
It's the Fox building.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
I was on a road trip throughout the Southwest, and one of my stops was in Los Angeles just to kind of see some of the Hollywood movie sites. And I drove to Nakatomi Plaza.
Okay.
And this was 2 years after September 11th, and there was definitely a heightened sense of security at major buildings. And so I'm in my little car, and I'm driving around the plaza there, and I see the guy, the security guard, he's kind of eyeing me.
Uh-oh.
He comes out, tells me to stop the car, and he asks what I'm doing there. And I said, look, man, this may sound kind of weird, but I'm a huge movie buff. I love Die Hard. I just wanted to see the building that was Nakatomi Plaza. And he started to laugh. He goes, yeah, we get that a lot here. He said, I'll let you do a couple more laps and you can get out and walk around a little bit, but you got 5 minutes and then I got to kick you out.
Yeah.
I said, no problem, man. Thank you. It was cool.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And the funny thing is that the company charged itself rent for the use of the building.
Yeah.
The movie.
Only in Hollywood. I love it.
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Another cool thing, and you may even notice this when you're watching the movie with surround sound, they used extra loud blanks for the movie to make it hyper real.
The sound effects in this movie are almost a character in and of themselves.
Yeah, John McTiernan really wanted it to be in your face and just really grab you, all your senses.
Yes. I read somewhere that they took guns to a gun range and just had a field day shooting off all these different types of guns and rifles because most of the sound effects that they have in stock were from the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
So rather than re-looping all these old, badly recorded gunshots, they completely recreated a brand new gun sound inventory.
That's very
just
cool.
for this movie.
Very cool. That's like putting your own personal stamp on something that's been done a million times before.
Exactly what John McTiernan wanted, like you just said.
Yeah, it's great. Unfortunately for Bruce Willis, the scene where he's underneath the table and he kills the one.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, exactly. He actually lost 2/3 of his hearing permanently because the things were so loud.
Oh my, that's right. If you think about the scene, I mean, the gun is pretty much up to his face as he's shooting upwards through the table. Yeah. Wow.
That's a big price to pay for a movie.
You
but
suffer for your art, I guess.
Yes. It's crazy, though. Only a couple of the actors who played the German thieves were actually German.
Jawohl.
Yeah, and a couple more spoke broken German. The actors were cast for their menacing appearances as opposed to their ability to speak German.
Right.
9 of the 12 were over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
Wow, you get these over 6 foot Aryan guys.
Yeah.
It's funny because Alan Rickman said that when they were fitting him for a costume, they were going to put him in a kind of a similar garb to what the other terrorists were wearing. But he kind of looked at the production team and he went, all these guys are at least a foot taller than I am.
Right.
I'm going to look ridiculous. I'm going to look wimpy. I'm going to look like I don't belong. What if we put Hans Gruber in a nice, really fancy tailored suit because he thinks he's this educated, cultured, classy guy, very arrogant and full of himself. And I just think that would make more sense for the character, and they agreed.
Yeah, and that was a scene in the movie, too, where he compliments Takagi on his suit.
Yeah, nice suit.
Yeah, I have one myself.
Yeah. John Phillips, London. I have 2 myself. Rumor has it Arafat buys his there.
Yeah, exactly. I love how he's trying to, oh, look at me, I'm all cultured. Meanwhile, I'm a common thief.
Right.
Actually, you're not a common thief.
Actually, I'm an exceptional thief. And since I'm moving up to kidnapping, you should be more polite.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I got you, brother. I got you.
There's so many great moments in this movie. The scene where Gruber and McClane meet each other for the first time face to face.
Yeah.
Where they're up on the roof. That was actually inserted into the script after they realized that Alan Rickman was really good at mimicking American accents.
Right. He was just kind of fooling around on set one day, I think, doing voices.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, he can really do a great American accent. So we got to have them meet up somehow.
Yeah, we have to get that in the film somehow.
Right.
And that's really a cool scene in the movie when they first meet.
Right.
And that, by the way, was completely unrehearsed. They wanted to have a lot of spontaneity between the two, which is very cool, too.
Yep. And then the problem came up is, McClane saw him shoot Takagi.
Right.
So McClane would know who this is, and why wouldn't McClane just kill him when he met him? And lucky for them, The scene where they meet up on the roof and he says, "I'm Clay, Bill Clay."
Mm-hmm.
That sequence was shot before they shot the death of Takagi.
Okay.
So when they shot the death of Takagi the next day,
okay.
they moved the camera and like a table and a chair in a certain way that from Willis's point of view, all he could see was someone pointing a gun at Takagi.
Right.
He couldn't exactly see who was shooting it.
And then it makes sense. Hart Bachner.
Who had the cast and crew cracking up with what he was doing with the role.
Quick trivia note about Hart Bachner. He directed PCU.
Yeah.
a comedy movie that stars Jeremy Piven.
1994, I think.
Yeah. It's like kind of like Animal House light.
Yeah.
Very funny movie. I love that movie too. It's very fun.
I liked it a lot.
But yeah, that's a little aside about Hart Bachner. But he plays Ellis in the movie.
Yep.
Which, the character is so...
just such a tool.
So totally.
Such a tool.
And the guys like that exist in the world too.
Of course.
Even today,
do.
probably.
Yeah. Great line where he's in the office doing cocaine. He walks by. John McClane looks at him and goes, "You missed some."
Yeah. I love, but Takagi says to him in that same scene, he says, "This is Holly's husband, her police officer husband."
Police officer husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hint, hint.
Yeah, exactly. Hart Bachner is the son of actor Lloyd Bachner, who co-starred with Frank Sinatra in 1968's The Detective. The Detective is based on the novel by author Roderick Thorpe.
Okay.
Die Hard is based on Thorpe's novel Nothing Lasts Forever, which I mentioned before.
Right.
The sequel to The Detective.
See how it all comes full circle.
So I love when stuff like that happens. Completely coincidental. But
great stuff.
The line where he says, "Hans, Bubby."
I'm your white knight.
Yeah, that was ad-libbed. And Alan Rickman was kind of it's a genuine quizzical reaction. He was like, what is this guy talking about?
It's funny. You should say that line was ad-libbed by Hart Bachner. And you just mentioned a minute ago that he directed the comedy PCU.
Right.
I remember hearing an interview with Jeremy Piven who said that he didn't really get along with Hart Bachner because Hart Bachner insisted that Jeremy Piven stick to the script.
Interesting.
And nothing but the script in PCU.
I've heard a lot of things about Jeremy Piven over the years, and I don't want to get too far off track here.
Sure.
But I hear he's a real pain in the ass to work with.
I have heard the same.
So another kind of strange thing that happened with the movie, too, Alan Rickman apparently was not used to handling guns with his acting.
Right.
He didn't really have a lot of experience, working with guns or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So anytime he would shoot a gun, he would flinch. It's sort of a weird thing that he had.
If you look closely, you can see it in the movie.
Yeah. They did a lot of cuts away from his face when he would fire guns for that reason, because they didn't want to have this, this supposed he's this badass.
Right.
But when he fires a gun, it's kind of
bang.
Yeah, the noise and the muzzle flash.
Right.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I guess the iconic line, one of a few iconic lines from the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ones. That line, the yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, is actually used in all 5 Die Hard movies.
Yes, it is.
I guess it's kind of a thing that you have to go back to.
Yeah.
To stamp Die Hard on the movie.
Of course. It's like going to a Schwarzenegger movie and you got to hear him say, "I'll be back."
Right. Get down.
Get down, I'll be back.
Get to the chopper.
All right, focus. Die Hard. Focus,
okay, I'm
focus.
sorry. When McClane runs through the glass, with his bare feet.
Yes.
Bruce Willis is actually wearing special rubber shoes that are supposed to look like his own feet.
Look like his feet.
And I looked really carefully after reading this. I couldn't see them in that scene when he's running through the glass because everything kind of happens really fast.
Right.
But there's a part of the scene where he's on the roof after that scene where he's trying to get all the people, all the hostages off the roof.
Yeah, right. And he starts shooting on top of the roof. And
did you look for it?
I did. I looked for it.
Did you see it?
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see that they're fake feet.
Yeah, it's like he's wearing socks that look like feet.
Right.
And you can kind of see the seam. But honestly, if you're not looking for it, it's real easy to miss.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool when you know to look for it and you go, there it is.
Cool. I think you can see it also. I might be wrong about this. I forget that it's the first terrorist that he kills. The tall guy with the blonde
Marco,
hair. Mark, when he kills Marco. And they fall out a door and they kind of tumble backwards down a little thing of stairs. And I guess Marco breaks his neck.
Right.
In that scene, when they land at the bottom of the stairs, I think you can kind of see that the feet are fake.
A little funky.
Whoever the stuntman is or like that.
Yeah, that's the part where he says 9 million terrorists in the world.
I got to kill one with feet smaller than my sister.
Or 6 million, whatever it is.
Yeah, he pulls out the cigarettes. He goes, "Oh, these are very bad for you." I love it. These are very bad for you. He's dead. Another one of my favorite lines, you were saying toward the end of the movie when he runs up to the roof to try to get all the hostages off, and those douchebag FBI guys start shooting at him. Bruce Willis jumps off and he yells, "I'm on your side, you assholes!" I don't know why. That line, it kills me every time. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can understand why they're firing at him. He's got a gun. He's waving in the air. He's firing.
Right.
It's just
I love it.
Nonstop. It's just amazing.
It's great stuff, man.
They shot all of his scenes, or most of his scenes, at night, too. Because he was so busy shooting moonlighting during the day that the only time they could really get him on set for Die Hard was at night. So
and sometimes in scenes where Bruce Willis appears to be talking to someone, sometimes those scenes were shot separately.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis wasn't even there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
The fact that he was so tired from his schedule really allowed the screenwriter to beef up the roles for some of the secondary characters. Al Powell, Ellis, Argyle, and Thornburg, the news guy.
That's a good thing, I think, that serves the movie overall much
Absolutely.
better.
So, ironically, Bruce Willis, who Gruber mocks for being an all-American hero, is actually more German than most of the villains in the movie.
That's right.
Bruce Willis was born in West Germany to an American father and a German mother.
Yes, more German than most of the terrorists.
Yeah, which is pretty funny.
Interesting.
The nude centerfold that John McClane uses as a point of reference when he's, kind of making his way through the elevator shaft and all that.
Yes, he does.
That is November 1987 Playboy Playmate Pamela Stein, if you are keeping score.
I love when he returns to it as a point of reference. He puts his hand and he goes, "Girls, there's a little musical kind of bendy note. There's a little boom."
I missed that.
Yeah. The second time he walks back, he goes, "Girls, there's a little bing, little bendy note that was put in as a point of humor."
It kind of reminds me of the Home Sweet Home video too.
Yeah,
I'm really reaching here. So take the journey with me, guys.
We're stuck in the '80s. What can I tell you?
Yeah. So take the journey with me. The Motley Crue Home Sweet Home video, if you're familiar, and I know that at least one person listening to this podcast is familiar.
You gotta be.
Blazer. Anyway, so so there's a part of that video where they show Motley Crue backstage, and Vince Neil is on his way to walk into the stage, I guess, and he plants a little finger kiss on Lisa Hartman.
Yep.
So it's kind of, she's not naked, but she's close. It's close to naked.
Might as well be.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, sorry. Got a little sidetracked there.
Bring it back.
Okay. So when Al Powell circles the Nakatomi parking lot, McClane says, "Who's driving this car, Stevie Wonder?"
Yeah.
So when Argyle is waiting in the limo parked in the garage, Skeletons by Stevie Wonder is playing on the stereo.
That's right, listening to a Stevie Wonder tune. And speaking of tunes, the Christmas music. Don't you have any Christmas music? This is Christmas music.
Yes.
The song they're listening to on the way in, a classic by Run DMC called Christmas in Hollis.
Yes.
Christmas in Hollis, Queens, which appeared on a compilation Christmas CD.
Okay.
In the 1980s, it's got Keith Haring artwork on the cover of the
disc. Very special Christmas.
Yes, thank you. That's it.
To benefit the Special Olympics.
To benefit the Special Olympics. That's right. Run DMC's "Christmas in Hollis," I think, is the only original song on the disc.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else did covers.
Okay.
And they asked Run DMC to make a hip hop contribution, and they said, "Well, we don't sing, but I guess we'll write something for it." And the result was Christmas in Hollis.
So when asked how he's doing while repairing his bleeding feet after running through glass, John McClane says to Powell, "All things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." Unbeknownst to me, that is a famous quote of W.C. Fields.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert, who was a critic that most of the time I agreed with when I read his reviews, was one of the few critics who actually gave this movie a negative review.
And the main reason why he gave it a negative review is because he hated, Dwayne T. Robinson. And I am in charge. You're in charge. From up here, it doesn't look like you're in charge of jack shit.
I'm not the one who got butt fucked on TV. That's one of my favorite lines that I actually made a note of.
Yes,
because I wanted to talk about it. Great.
And what makes that even funnier is Argyle in the limo is listening on the police scanner, and Argyle loses his shit.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, he totally reacts. Roger Ebert just thought that the character was useless and totally didn't do anything.
Yeah, and kind of unnecessary. And I have to disagree with Roger Ebert. It's one of those other characters on the periphery, I think, that provides a little comic relief.
Agreed.
And how the authority figures in this movie are generally kind of clueless.
Yeah.
Whether it's Dwayne Robinson or the
agents Johnson and Johnson.
Agents, Special Agent Johnson, no relation. In the credits, those guys are listed as Big Johnson and Little Johnson. Yeah.
It's funny. But yeah, just like William Atherton made a career out of playing douchebags, Paul Gleason is always like the authority figure that's really clueless.
Right.
And just real quick, in addition to this movie, of course, he's the teacher or principal in the Breakfast Club.
Principal in the Breakfast Club. Yep.
And also in Trading Places, he's Beeks. Clarence Beeks.
Yes.
A great character actor, but R.I.P.
Yeah.
So the shot where the climax of the film where Gruber falls from the top of the building. Alan Rickman was falling from a 21-foot-high model.
They really had him rigged up there.
Yeah, so he was holding onto a stuntman and falling onto an airbag. Now, to get the reaction, the kind of surprised look, the stuntman dropped him on the count of 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, and you see the reaction on his face in the movie. That's not acting.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
He wasn't expecting to be dropped on the count of 2.
Yeah, that is such a great scene. It's funny because there's foreshadowing earlier when Ellis, in the movie where Ellis says, oh, show him the watch you got.
Yeah, show him the watch.
You know,
it's a Rolex.
And we never do see the watch.
Right. Until.
Yeah, but we don't actually see it. You just see him unhook it.
See him unhooking it from her wrist, yeah.
Which is great. Gee, I sure hope that's not one of the hostages. Again, if you're keeping score, the film has an on-screen body count of 21.
Wow.
So let's run them down really quick in order.
Okay, so in order, you got both Nakatomi security guards from the very beginning.
Right, when they're doing the play-by-play of the Lakers game.
That's right. Magic just to where they score 2 points or something like that.
Takagi,
Tony, Heinrich, Marco, James and Alexander.
Both blown up at the same time.
Up at the same time when he sends take this under advisement, jerkweed.
yeah, okay. Ellis.
Right, Ellis.
What am I, method actor here?
Method actor Hans, Bubby, put away the gun.
This is radio, not television.
And after Ellis, Franco, Fritz, Uli, both Big Johnson and Little Johnson.
And the 4 other guys on the chopper.
4 other guys in the chopper, yeah.
Eddie, Hans, and Carl. Yeah. Comes one of the classic of the bad guy that you think is dead.
Right.
Powell shoots Carl 5 times too, if you're
keeping score. For
those
of you keeping score,
yeah, because sometimes people want to know about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's trivia.
Yes, it is, and that's part of the reason why you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, and there's actually a cool thing about the music even that happens when Powell shoots Carl at the end of the film. It was actually an unused track from James Horner's Academy Award nominated score for Aliens.
An outtake from Aliens. Both Die Hard and Aliens are 20th Century Fox movies,
right?
But James Horner doesn't do the music for Die Hard. Michael Kamen does the music for Die Hard.
Okay.
And speaking of music, as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, the director John McTiernan really wanted to kind of weave a thread of joy, and I'm using the word that he used to describe it. He wanted to put a little joy and a little comedy in the movie. So if you notice, Beethoven's Ode to Joy runs through the movie. Whether it's played outright or at various points in the film, characters are kind of humming it to themselves.
It's almost like the theme song for The Thieves.
Yes.
When we do these podcasts together, we usually end up watching the movie separately.
Yes.
Because we have different ways of doing it.
Right.
And we may have even said this before, but really quick. I like just watching the movie again. Because even though I've seen the movie before, I just like watching it. I like experiencing the movie and then talking about it.
Sure.
Your approach is a little different.
A little bit. I like to watch it with the director's commentary on. And sometimes the movies will also have a trivia track that you can watch in subtitles at the bottom of the screen just to clue me into things that maybe I'm missing.
Right.
And provide a little bit more insight and depth to my viewing experience.
Since we watched this movie differently, maybe there's things that you either heard or saw when you watched that I missed.
The interior of the Nakatomi building is really a replication of architect Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, because I think the producer of the film, Joel Silver, is a big Frank Lloyd Wright fan.
Okay.
And so the interior is designed to look like that on purpose.
What a cool, the building and all the stuff.
Yes.
Very cool. I mean, especially when you look back, I mean, not just the architecture, but the touch screen.
Yeah.
1988, now that's everywhere.
Yeah, now it's everywhere.
It's cool,
in 1988, kind of ahead of its time.
Like when he says cute toy, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Really quick about that, too. The name Gennaro is spelled differently on that screen than it is on her office door.
One of the other things I picked up on is that when the terrorists/thieves are first entering the building, most of them are coming in on a big green truck that says Pacific Courier on the side. And oddly enough, Pacific Courier means messenger of peace.
There you go.
And the production designer and the director of photography for this movie is Jan de Bont, who would go on to become a great action director in his own right, starting with 1994's Speed. A truck saying Pacific Courier is also in Speed.
Oh, cool.
Kind of a little in-joke that runs through both of the movies. And I think there might even be a Pacific Courier truck in Die Hard with a Vengeance also.
Okay. Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
And they're all 20th Century Fox movies,
Yes,
too.
all 20th Century Fox. Yep.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Of course, you can't talk about Die Hard, the scene when he's in the air vent.
Yes.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together and have
a few
laughs.
laughs.
What does he say? Now I know what a TV dinner
I
feels
know
like.
what a TV dinner feels like, yeah. Only Bruce Willis can pull that off, just with kind of like a little smart-ass smirk and a wink in his eye.
By the way, that's another thing. If they had a big action guy in this movie, that scene wouldn't work. No, and you're not putting Schwarzenegger in an air vent.
Of course not. And completely contrary to the spirit of the film and what the director is trying to accomplish. Just, kind of an everyman.
Another one of the scenes that I really like is when he's on the roof and he calls 911 on the radio.
Yeah.
Like the emergency line. The supervisor's like, attention, whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only. No fucking shit, lady. This is sound like I'm ordering a pizza.
I'm ordering a pizza. After Alexander Goodenough, who plays Carl, they miss the opportunity to kill John McClane. So he comes back down. They retrieve the detonators. Carl smashes a table because he's pissed off. And one of the co-workers says, "Oh, God, that man looks really pissed." And automatically, Holly Gennaro knows that he's still alive. Because what? Only John can drive somebody that crazy. If you're married or you've been married, you get that. You get why that line is funny.
Yeah, and she actually has a couple of good little zingers. The part where she comes into the office and she's talking to Gruber.
Idiot.
Yeah, and she says, "I have a request. What idiot put you in charge?" And she goes, "You did.
You
murdered my boss.
You murdered my boss."
And when she says "you did," he kind of looks up and goes, "How dare you?"
Right. But there's also kind of a mutual respect going on there, because before she leaves the office, Hans looks at her and goes, "Mr. Takagi chose his people well."
That's true. But I like how she says, "Now everybody's looking to me. Personally, I'd pass on the job. I don't enjoy being this close to you."
Yeah. And Hans just kind of goes, "Fine, what do you want?" I get it.
He's actually kind of cool about it. He's like, I can't have people coming in here, but I'll bring a sofa out to you.
Yeah, there is a weird kind of sort of interplay and almost like a begrudging respect between the antagonists and the characters in this film, even between Hans and John McClane.
Yeah,
there's kind of a almost like a big brother, little brother kind of needling each other a little bit.
That's why the movie's so good, because it's not just like a cowboy.
Right.
Even though he's got a certain swagger about him, he knows who he's dealing with. When he's on the radio, when Ellis is...
When Ellis is in the office trying to negotiate, he's
like, "Shut up, Ellis. I know you don't know who you're dealing with. I do."
Hans, this asshole does not know what kind of man you are, but I do.
Right, exactly.
And he was good. Then you'll tell us what we want. You'll give us our detonators.
Yeah. So even when he's needling Hans,
right,
he knows that he can get away with it because he knows that he can kind of be one step ahead of him somehow.
Right.
One other thing that I made a note of kind of shows the incompetence of the authorities. when it's funny because, Powell has good instincts. Even though he's a desk jockey, he's off the streets because of the accident
he's a cop.
he had. Yeah.
He's a cop first and foremost.
But he says, "I think McClane's a cop, maybe not LAPD, but he's definitely a badge. How do you know that?" A hunch, things he said, like being able to spot a phony ID. Right. And Robinson goes, "Jesus Christ, Powell, he could be a fucking bartender for all we know."
It's such a tool.
"I don't think so, sir."
"But what about the body that fell out the window?" "I don't know. Probably some stockbroker got depressed." It's another one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Yeah, it's just,
It's good. And when they're shooting at the lights, they're shooting at us. And Powell goes, "They're going after the lights." And then they knock out one of the lights, and Robinson goes, "They're going after the lights." They cut to Powell, who just rolls his eyes like, "This is such an asshole, this guy."
Of course, the end, when they finally get out of the building and everything, and Thornburg goes up to the two of them and he tries to get a comment from John McClane.
Yep.
And it's not him, but Holly that punches him.
And it's not a slap.
No, she punches
him.
She
hauls off and just cold cocks him.
Yeah.
Boom. Well deserved.
And then he goes, "Did you get that?"
Did you get that?
Argyle has a great line there.
Yeah.
It's like one of your favorite lines.
It's the last line in the film. He goes, "This is their idea of Christmas. I got to be here for New Year's."
It's great.
And then they cue up "Let It Snow, Let It Snow."
Yep.
As it is, kind of, sort of, all the paper from the business office is from the building is coming down. It's like literally snowing paper.
Yep. For all of you who don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, there you have it.
Think again.
Think again.
You just think again.
Great movie. Holds up. I love it.
Yeah, timeless. Great movie.
Tim, thanks for taking the time out to come in and record.
Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to the next one. I know we have some plans for 2016, a bunch of good movies.
We got a lot on our list, man.
Cool, and I'm excited to do all of them with you. So thanks to you for listening, and thanks to kimsvoice.com, that's KYMSvoice.com, for this.
Screen Facts with Jason Davis is a production of Jason Davis VoiceOver. Visit jasondavisvoice.com if you need a voice for a commercial, narration, promo, internet video, e-learning or training program, and more. Click on the podcast page to get information about where you can download and listen to past episodes. Listen again next Wednesday for a new episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis.